Everybody, welcome into Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. I'm Chris Meaney. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. We got 7 games to break down. I got my buddy Cam Stewart here. It is Parlay Friday after all. Hopefully we can nail a couple parlays for you guys, break things down from the NHL perspective. We only have a couple days left of the regular season, and we're really going to start to turn the page here to a playoff. So if you're just new to the show, you've really missed a lot of shows, but we appreciate you hanging out here today. Please rate, review, subscribe, and like this video if you can. If you have a question there, leave it in the YouTube section, and we'll circle back before puck drop, have some picks and some props. And really, this time of the year is tough to be making some hockey bets. You really got to know, at least my perspective, you really got to know who the heck is starting in net, and some teams may really rest some guys down the stretch as they're comfortably in a playoff spot right now with just only a few days left. But it is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. The link inside the description of this video, a promo code there, 100% first deposit match when you use that promo code. So follow the link inside the description of this video. Check out prizepicks.com. You can mix and match across all the sports that you love. A couple hockey plays here for you with 7 games on the schedule. I left the Colorado boys off the board. We know this. Mikko Rantanen, Nate McKinnon against the Kings. Good spots for both of those guys today, especially after their last game. They didn't look too well, so I would expect them to bounce back. But haven't really talked about Kaprizov in a while, and what a heater he is on. Remember when we talked about Jason Robertson potentially winning Rookie of the Year, the Calder Trophy? That was cute. Dollar bill Kirill Kaprizov against the Ducks today. A 4-point fantasy point prop here for him today. He comes in with 10 goals and 12 points over his last 10 games. That's right, 10 goals and 12 points in his past 10 games. He's hit the score sheet in 9 of his past 10 games. Nice solid floor there as well. We've been taking his shot prop. He's got at least 3 shots on goal in 10 straight games as well. Overall in the season, he's got 26 goals and 47 points in 52 games and 22 points over his last 22 games, right? So he is just on a heck of a run here against the Ducks. They're inside the top 5 in high danger chances allowed, scoring chances, shot attempts, and shots on goal. So a good spot for Kaprizov. And Braden Point, I don't know if we've really talked about Braden Point. 3.4 fantasy points is just too low for this guy. He's up against the Stars tonight. He's got a cool 48 points in 53 games this season. He's fresh off a 2-point game against the Stars. Just the other day, he had a goal and an assist. And like Kaprizov, he's on a bit of a heater too. He's got 7 goals and 15 points over his last 13 games and 3 goals and 9 points in his past 6 games. So he gets a goal tonight. We're there. You get half the point for the shot and 3 points for a goal. He gets an assist, a couple shots. We are there as well. Check out prizepicks.com and follow the link inside the description of this video for the promo code. Let's bring in Cam Stewart. Happy Friday, bud. Parlay Friday. What's going on?
Hey, Meaney, how you doing? Yeah, we're talking about some dangerous waters we're in. Snakes, moccasins, and electric eels. Zzz, zzz. Watch out for these underdogs in hockey. The Islanders, they're crap in the bed. Devils beat them. Look at last night. Chicago just lingering against Carolina. They're a huge pooch. All this stuff. You talk about Colorado losing to S.J. Sharkey. Be very careful when we put those parlays together. We've given you the speech before, but you can't just add these teams because, hey, they should beat this team and this team. They're better. It doesn't work that way anymore, Meaney. You know, a lot of these teams are resting guys down the stretch, so I guess we got to be very careful. The NHL waters are dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when there's 3 games in a row like that. I mean, in those settings, we saw Colorado take the first 2 against San Jose, and then we saw Carolina take the first 2 pretty easily against the Blackhawks, right? And then you just figure, like, it's tough to beat any team, no matter what point of the season it is, 3 straight games. With this weird schedule, usually there's some sort of bounce back altogether. Yeah, the Islanders are strange, man. I did the video for Tipico yesterday and was on the Devils. Try to keep things local. Tipico, it's a New Jersey sports book, but it was on the Devils and the under. I couldn't believe that the Islanders were about minus 220 for a team that
ridiculous.
I looked into it, Cam. Since the trade, they're in the bottom 10 in goals for per 60. Since they lost Anders Lee, they just haven't been the same in terms of power play production.
Worst power play in the league. It's awful.
And then since April 5th, so a good month here, they're 1.65 goals for per 60, I believe, off the top of my head, roughly right in around there. That's the second worst mark in the league. They're just not scoring any goals. And the flip side, they're not really giving up anything either. This was a team I really liked when that trade happened, Cam, but when looking at all those other teams in the East, the way that the Penguins are rolling. Jeff Carter last night, 8 goals in 12 games with the Pens, 8 goals in 40 with the Kings. Like, he has seemed to his game has taken another level. Malkin's back. The Bruins are rolling after their trade. The Islanders look like the worst team in the East right now altogether.
They do, Meaney. I'll tell you one thing, like they used to be one of those teams that you always take and go, you know, I wouldn't mind having a ticket with the Islanders as a nice pooch, but I look at these guys now, I don't, like you said it, like look at Pittsburgh. No respect for like the Penguins. Like Buffalo's been playing better. What do they get? 8 goals. Like this is just like they're scoring at will. If they get any type of goaltending, we talk about Washington, how tough they are. Carolina's a wicked team. Florida's good. Tampa Bay, we know we got Kucherov and Stamkos coming back. This is unbelievable stuff. So as we talked about before, I think it's going to be very tough for the North, and teams like the Islanders. No, I'm not just buying in. They're going to be a first round exit the way things are going.
Before we get into today's slate, I wanted to get your thoughts on what the hell happened with the Rangers and the Capitals the other day.
I enjoyed it.
Dude,
I'm an old school Neanderthal. I'm a different guy than some of these new hockey guys, Meaney. Like you played the game at a very high level. I played when I was younger. I was a decent player, but you know what I mean? Like we did okay. Like we actually understand, played the game and know the rules of hockey. And I think it was fantastic for the league. You know what I mean? You're going to do these things. You're going to take liberties with players. And this is the problem with the instigator rule. You're going to have guys that go out and cheap shot stars on the team. You know, we talk about this. Sidney Crosby's had to defend himself for years. Other stars, like, you know what I mean? These guys are getting murdered out there from their junior days, and you got to do something about it, right? So the fact the Rangers, actually everybody dropped the mitts. They went in there, they fought, and Washington handled it well too, Chris. Like, you know, that they knew it was coming. Wilson knew it was coming. Guys like Mantha, okay, I'm going to get sticked in the face. That's life. That's old school hockey. Yeah. We had an Australian guy listening to our show. He's like, oh, guys, I'm now tell this hockey. It's I just saw this Rangers Caps game. It's my new favorite sport, man. Like the people are going wild. They go, yeah, well, you're not going to get fights like that every night there, Dubsy. But I'll tell you, that was an old school game. And if that was the game they were showing on NBC, which they were, meaning think about all the new people who like MMA, boxing, whatever. You could say get fighting out of the game, but in the boardroom, they're like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We like it. And you know what? You need it to police the game, or else some guy is going to get really hurt, paralyzed. I don't like the dirty stuff like Gottsbear, like a cheap shot from behind on an empty net goal where a guy can break his neck. That's more of a problem than what Wilson did, in my opinion. I'll get your thoughts.
Yeah, I didn't mind what I expected what would happen in that second game. I mean, the 3 fights off the hop, and then I think 6 in the first 8 minutes. I thought it would eventually slow down, and then you see Lars Eller and Ryan Strome fighting. It's like, okay, no, this is just going to happen all day, and it's going to be exciting because, I mean, all of it could have really been avoided with a 1 game or 2 game suspension. I really truly believe that if Wilson was suspended for a game or 2, maybe there would have been a fight or 2 the next day, but not all of that. I don't think would have happened. Yeah, I think both teams handled it. The Rangers got a fine, and everybody inside the front office gets fired for speaking up. They say it has nothing to do with that. I don't know. I don't completely buy that, to be honest with you, even though the Rangers, they've been a little bit disappointing. I know they have high expectations and they brought in some kids and stuff like that, but it's a tough division. You know, the goal differential, that's better than some teams that are going to be playing into the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. But I thought Wilson should have got a game or 2 for that. I didn't like what he did to Buchnevich. I actually had no problem with what he did to Artemi Panarin. I mean, I thought he held up on Panarin a little bit. I think if he wanted to, he would have really put Panarin. It would have been bad news for him. I know he jumped Wilson from behind. I mean, what did he really expect there? He was trying to stick up for his teammate. But, you know, watching that game on NBC, because you brought it up, you know, one guy who didn't like all of it and was just so annoying to watch was Pierre Maguire. He was calling that game, the play-by-play, and he just wouldn't let it go about how bad it was for the game of hockey, and this stuff should be taken out of the game. But it did.
Are you kidding me?
To it, Cam.
I'm actually shocked by that for a guy that's been in the game. I'm like, no, hockey. Yeah. Okay, Pierre. So what are you going to do then? If you're going to change the rules where guys and superstars can't protect themselves, what do you want players to do? What do you want them to do? You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you, okay, so some guy's going to get hit from behind, as I said before. Remember Grant Marshall? He had his head in a halo for a long time. He almost died on the ice and had a broken neck because guys are hitting people from behind, and those are the dangerous plays. A fight in hockey, big deal. Like, you know what I mean? We talk about boxing and everything else. I'm actually shocked, Meaney. You're going to have it. You know what? If you don't change the rules, that's going to be part of the game. And I hate to say it, a fight now and then, it's good for the game of hockey. It's a different sport than other sports. And you know what? I got no problem with it. I've got my ass beaten up by guys who played in the league before. It's part of life. You strap them on. You got to know that these things are going to happen. And if you don't protect star players, what the hell do you want these guys to do? The instigator rule changed everything in hockey. So until I understand, Gary Bettman's actually done some good things for the National Hockey League, but that is a big problem. And you can call me a Neanderthal, an old school guy, whatever you want to say. But these do go, oh, hockey, fighting, it's bad for the game and stuff. Well, I see more cheap shots and other stuff because the game's so fast now. At least in the old school days, you settled things up with a fight. You even things up that way.
Yeah, there's no question. Like, that stuff just didn't happen. There was a fight and it was taken care of. And just like that, you moved on. But the Capitals are in action tonight. Thankfully for them, they're not playing the New York Rangers. They have a date here at home as they welcome in the Philadelphia Flyers plus 153. The Caps here minus 180. The total is 6.5. So the Caps in a playoff spot. As we mentioned, there's teams that are just locked in. They're one of them. They're 2 points back of Pittsburgh with 2 games in hand. You got to think that teams are really just striving to have that first spot in the East, to have a date with the Islanders, even though it's not going to be totally easy. But as we said, New York not playing great hockey right now. So Washington has won 5 of 6 against Philadelphia, 5 straight. And Cam, there's been a lot of offense, 6-3, 6-1, 5-4, 5-3, the last 4 games. So the over has hit quite often. Do we get there today?
I'm seeing some 6.5s out there, Meaney. If it was a 6, I'd feel a lot better about it. Gotts to Bear, he's going to be suspended, I think. Didn't he get 2 games
for
that shot in Pittsburgh dirty play? They already have offensive defensemen. The goaltending's not good. How's Washington going to respond after all that stuff? They kind of did it on adrenaline and beat the Rangers that night, which I was very impressed that they did. I lean Washington in the over in this spot. Chris, I got to be honest with you. I don't love it. Like, I'm kind of worried about Washington taking Philadelphia lightly. The Flyers have been horrible. The over is the way to go in the game. I just don't know. When we need 7, that's a lot to ask.
It is a lot to ask, and I'm a little hesitant, I think, to hammer that over. I think normally, a midseason game, I would hammer it. But who's playing for Washington? Like, is Ovechkin coming back? Is Kuznetsov coming back? Tom Wilson, quote unquote, hurt himself in that game. I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to protect him. He left. I don't know if he's going to play. Oshie returned on just what was a remarkable story with him.
Great story.
And he finds a way to get a hat trick, but I know he's been dealing with something. They were really shorthanded. I think he just played that game given what had happened the day before. So I don't even know if I think everything, all signs point to him playing, but I wouldn't be surprised, again, if we said at the top of the show, if some of these star players just don't play in a couple of these games down the stretch. There's been a lot of hockey. So this would be one of those games that I would just wait it out and see. Is Ovechkin, Oshie, and Kuznetsov and Wilson going to be in the lineup here? If they're not, I don't know how I feel about the over 6.5. There's a lot of goals, Cam.
It sure is, buddy. There's 7 games on the board, so we don't have to bet everything. I don't love it.
What?
The Capitals are still a better team, but the juice, I'm going to have to, you know what? This might be a good play it live game. I'm thinking, Chris.
Yeah, play it live. Yeah, not a bad call. Just, we don't have any word here on goalies yet either. We got Brian Elliott. Brian Elliott's the first of back-to-back. Yeah, we'll move on. Maybe we can revisit that. My lean is over, just given what we've seen between these two teams and the offense. And yeah, you're right. You don't know what to expect when it comes to the Flyers, but the Capitals have just been playing a lot of overs as well. Like, not even just doing their part. They've allowed a lot of goals. I don't think they have too much stability in net right now, whether it's Vanacek or Samsonov. Okay, so Dallas and Tampa Bay in here next. We got the Bolts minus 152. The Stars plus 132 in Tampa Bay. Yeah, I was on Dallas.
Me too.
The other day. I think it was just, I shouldn't have been on them. When I was looking at some of the numbers and I watched a lot of the games between those two teams, like Tampa has won 6 of 7 now. Dallas has 10 goals in the 7 games against Tampa Bay. They've been shut out 3 times against them. I think the only reason I was on them was the fact that the playoffs were still in sight.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate team. Seguin came back, a little bit of a boost for that squad. Plus money, of course, helps. And I didn't think that Vasilevsky would start, and he did start. So
exactly.
If he doesn't play, I kind of have that same sort of feel that I had on Wednesday was that there's an opportunity maybe to jump on Dallas here. But if Vasilevsky's playing, I mean, that's it, man. Say what you want about McDavid MVP and Matthews MVP. Like after that, it's like, in my opinion, it's Vasilevsky.
You're absolutely right. Earlier it was Fleury, and then Vegas went to that 1-2 punch with Leonard, and it's Vasilevsky. You said it, Meaney. The guy's, every time he starts for Tampa Bay, it's like an automatic win. Here's the deal: people are going to go. This is the thing about hockey betting. It is really, really hard to come back to a team that screwed you. And Dallas screwed me that night. I bet them for all the reasons that you bet them, and I like the dog, and I like the situation, and they were battling for a playoff spot. I think they can. This is the thing. That last game was brutal. They got kind of embarrassed. I'm going to take a shot with Dallas tonight. You're right. I hope it's McElhinney between the pipes tonight. Small play. I'm not going to go nuts. Friday night dogs. Give me the Dallas Stars in a dog spot in this situation. We're getting 35, 40 cents. I think they can do it, Meaney. Would they lose 6-2 the last game? It was tight for a while. The score was not indicative of really, like, Tampa Bay was the better team, but Dallas didn't get blown out. I'm going to take a shot with the dog. Guys, it's dangerous. I get it. Tampa Bay's there, but I think Dallas, like, this is the type of game, like, everyone's going to be on Tampa Bay, and maybe they rebound after that game. Like, we talk about the same team, Meaney. It's like the Chicago, Carolina. You beat them before, you come back with the underdog a bit. So that's what I'm going to do. A little bit of a leap of faith, though.
Yeah, and Tampa plays tomorrow against Florida, so maybe it's Vasilevsky.
Yes.
Maybe Vasilevsky gets the night off, right? Because you're seeing Tampa and Florida. It does seem like Carolina's division. They're 5 points back of them.
Yep.
But even still, if Tampa can win out here in these last 3 games and Carolina loses their last 2, then you're looking at Tampa in first place. So maybe they hold Vasilevsky for tomorrow night against Florida. Dallas has lost 5 straight. It does, like, man, they've been so hot or cold, but they went on a bit of a run where it looked like they were going to get into the postseason, but they're 4 points back of Nashville with 1 game in hand. Let's bring in Matty Best here. He's the
our Nashville correspondent. Yes.
Our Nashville correspondent. It looks like the Preds may make the playoffs, Matty, but what do you think about Dallas here? This is a must-win game. They got everything. They lose here, I think they're officially out. They lose.
If McElhinney's in, I love Dallas. You heard me on the last show. I think he's the worst backup in the NHL. If Vasilevsky's in, though, it's so hard to bet against Vasilevsky, even if the team is in a must-win situation. My whole condition here, it's really simple. McElhinney equals bet stars. Vasilevsky equals on to the next game.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
We don't know the official starter by the time we're done the show either, too. So it's a little bit of a leap of faith, right? I'm going with Dallas. I'm on Dallas. It's the way
I'll lean Dallas too. I'm going to say that Vasilevsky doesn't get this start here tonight, that he starts against the Panthers. But it really does seem that simple. Like, who the heck is in net tonight? That's why I always say, circle back before a puck drop, because some of the plays honestly do change for me when it comes to goalies. I don't start putting in parlays until like mid-afternoon over at FTN. And by the way, we're up to 125 units there. So if you'd like to hang out, we'll be giving picks until that Stanley Cup is raised. So you can use the promo code Mayo to help him out a little bit, because I'm sure he needs it. He's doing just fine, I'd say.
Well, yeah, he's a multiple property owner. He's fine. Still help the guy out.
He's out at East Coast now. Yeah,
he's gonna help us out, Meaney, in the future.
He's always helping us out.
It's like a trickle down effect to me and Chris and Matt and everybody else.
You don't need to use Meaney. Use Mayo. Come on, use Mayo. That guy does enough favors for everybody else out there. Do one for him. Yeah, he sent me a pic the other day in Scotia drinking the schooner.
Yeah, love a schooner.
Schooner the better. Okay, in here next, gonna have a few schooners to enjoy this game, I think. Columbus and Detroit. The Blue Jackets minus 143 at home as they welcome in the Wings. The total here is 5. I know both of these teams stink and they can't really score, but this is a battle of who can get out of the bottom of the Central. We have Detroit here, 45 points. 54 games, and Columbus 46 points in 54 games. Man, I got to tell you, I was really wrong about the Blue Jackets this year. This is not a good hockey team, and I would be shocked if Tortorella is hanging around this squad.
Oh, he's done
after this season. Yeah, Patrick Laine, that trade didn't look like it worked out. The Domi trade didn't look like it worked out. I don't know, man. I kind of got to lean here on the Wings and plus money. I think they may be the better team.
I agree. And I think the over, you have to look at it. I know Detroit doesn't score goals, but if you're going to post a 5 with 2 teams that aren't going to the playoffs, it's kind of a betting angle. You know what I mean? Like, guys, Detroit, Columbus, don't worry about playing defensive hockey. Just You think about the golf course, think about having sex with your girlfriend on an island, drinks, the season's almost over. Let's just get out of this one healthy, play a little bit loose beer league style. I think we can get over 5 goals in this game. And I look at the dog and the Red Wings as well, Meaney. I think that's the way to roll.
Yeah. Columbus has lost 18 of their last 22 games. I like the over too. I mean, 5 is nothing. Right?
You got to do it. It's almost like a principal bet. If we don't win, so be it. But if you're going to post a 5, not even a 5.5, I got to take it. I got to take it.
Matt, what do you think about that? 5? Like if we're 2-2 halfway through the game and we're loving it, man, a 3-2 game, we get that empty net goal, works our way.
I feel like, 5 is just one of those things, like Cam said, on principle, you kind of just have to do it because they're 2 pretty bad teams. And I mean, when they have a good goalie performance, that's what the news story is. It's like, holy shit, they had a good goalie showing. And then for the most part, it's yard sale, goals. So the 5 to me just feels like we kind of have to go at it. And like Cam said, they've got the golf course, they've got other things to look forward to. The over here, definitely.
Yeah, all right. When I looked at it last night, I said, I think I can get behind that. Give us even 5 as a push. Like just give us the
Yes.
6 and we move on. But both of these teams definitely struggling to find offense. You just look at the back of all the games. It's like 2-1, 3-1,
I know.
nothing, 2-0. But we could get there, I think, with 2 sloppy teams. I think it's possible. All right, in here next, we got Anaheim and Minnesota. This
here we go.
Yeah, here we go. We'll get into the heavy favorites here. The Wild minus 275. The total here 5.5. Minnesota just really dominant at home so far this season. 19-5-2. The Ducks on the road, a better hockey team away from the Duck Pond. They're 11-12-3 on the road. 31-23 against the spread, not bad. Plus 225. So Minnesota coming off the emotional 2-game set to Vegas. Man, they're very much in play to catching a team like Colorado. They're only 5 back of even Vegas up at the top there with 4 games left. What do you think of Anaheim and Minnesota?
Meaney, I'm going to tell you.
You're doing it, aren't you?
You're quack, 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 quack. At least plus 1.5. You bring up a lot of good points. Anaheim, I don't know what's going on with these guys. They're playing better. They're playing loose. Minnesota off an emotional series with Vegas. The first game where they come back, that game was nuts. They score 2 goals to win in regulation. They lose the next game. Unbelievable. Anaheim just kind of sitting around, nothing really, loose, ready to go. It's hard to go against Minnesota at home, Meaney, but I'm taking that plus 1.5 with Anaheim. I think they might win this damn game. So it's a little bit crazy. I know you got this. This is why you guys have me on the show, I guess. Just sometimes they work. It worked in Arizona versus Vegas this game. There's something about the situation for Minnesota. Meaning, you tell me, what do you think about that total as well? Anaheim, they're kind of scoring a few goals now. Like, is it an over? I don't know. All I know is I'm going to take a shot with the Ducks. I think Minnesota, this could be a night where they go to sleep.
Yeah, it very well could be. Absolutely. You were spot on last week with your analysis about the fact that Vegas had just played the emotional 2-game set. Was it against Colorado? They had played.
Yes.
It was against the Avs, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then they turn around and then they have the letdown spot against Arizona. So, my favorite thing from this game is the Kaprizov shot prop. If I said off the top, It's just, he's on just a heck of a run now. He's cleared 2.5 shots. In 10 straight games. So you can get that at William Hill at minus 141. I do like the plus 1.5. Some books are getting crazy now and offering like 2 plus 2.5.
I know, I've seen that.
I was on the Sabres last night. I was like, wow, just not to lose by 3. Let's go.
I see the old 2.5 now. I'm going to really like this stuff moving forward.
Yeah, that was plus money. It didn't work out. When you allow 8 goals, you're not going to get the plus 2.5. But I mean, they did their part to score 4. But poor Hauser.
Doogie Hauser. He was on a good run too. It's not Hauser's fault. The guy, he won his first couple games against the Islanders. It's bound to happen against the Penguins. Good on Hauser.
Yeah, good on Hauser. Anaheim has played Minnesota fairly tough so far this season, but I'll probably stay away, Cam. But to your point,
you're a smart guy, me. This is the difference. Like, I'm like, ooh, big plus money. I get the extra goal plus 1.5. But I do. Let's just say I don't like it as much as the Arizona situation. But I think there's a lot of factors. It's a good situation. Also, these guys after games against Vegas, that's tough. Like, it's going to be hard for these guys to get up against Anaheim, where Anaheim's kind of playing with house money right now. They've been good. They've been
Yeah, they
good
have.
down the stretch.
And you know what? They've been good at covering all year, right? I mean, as the board 31 and 23 against the spread. What if I told you that 4 of the 6 games, so Minnesota's won 5 of the 6. What if I told you 4 of the 6 games were decided by 1 goal?
I would say, Meaney, I love it, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
And unders,
Get
like
some
look at this.
Peking duck tonight. Let's
3-2, 2-1, 5-1.
Yeah, I'm not touching the total.
3-1, but 3-2 and 1-0. So the total, 4 of the 6 have gone under, but 4 of the 6 have been decided by 1 goal. And to your point, the Ducks are playing a little bit looser. Let's move on to what do we got here? St. Louis and Vegas. I mean, I don't know what to make of.
This is what we do with this one, Meaney. This is what we
Tell
do.
me, what do we do?
I was talking to Brian Blesse. I'll give this guy credit last night. He actually he sold me on a total in that Edmonton game last night. It was 6 goals in the first period. I'm like, yes, we can't a push at worst. So we were talking about that doing our betting show, and just you talk about just the loose hockey. Here's the deal. Every time the Blues and Vegas get together, I don't know why they posted a 5.5. It's madness. There's goals. If I'm wrong on this game, I'm wrong on this game. I'm going over. I don't know what it is with the combination between St. Louis and Vegas. Also, I'm not sure if we have a Husso sighting for St. Louis this game or the next game, but he will be getting some action for these guys. Maybe probably if it's Binnington, but I don't care. It's 5.5. I'm down with the program. Leonard goes for Vegas. He's actually not been as good recently. I think we can get there tonight. I think there's going to be goals in this game, and I would look at the dog, St. Louis and the over, baby. That's the way I'm going to rock this game.
Yeah, 5 of the 6 have gone over. There have been a ton of goals. Yeah, Vegas is scoring goals. St. Louis is scoring goals. The goaltending is shaky. Yeah, everything. I'm with you, man. Everything that you said is spot on. Is this a first round playoff matchup? And if it is,
Vegas better strap it on, because St. Louis is not going to be an easy out.
Right? Yeah, I know.
I'd be scared if I was Vegas. Vegas and Colorado right now, you guys got to get to the finish line. Don't be laughing. Minnesota's a good hockey team. The Blues are a good hockey team.
Yeah,
it's not going to be. Everyone just wants to anoint these guys. Oh, Colorado and Vegas. Yeah, Colorado. What have they done in the past? They've choked. Vegas, they have games where they have no offense, where they just go to sleep and then they explode. So you can't afford to be like that in the playoffs. You got to be consistent. So I think these teams are going to kill each other. I can't wait for the playoffs, Meaney.
Yeah, me too. There's going to be some very, very intriguing matchups. I mean, no matter who, Minnesota and St. Louis, these teams are not going to be pushovers. Like the Leafs and the Habs, that may be a quick one. The Jets and the Oilers may be a quick one. Carolina and Dallas or Nashville may be a quick one. But Tampa and Florida and Vegas and St. Louis or Colorado, Minnesota, those are going to be unbelievable series, I think, to watch. So yeah, I like the over. I think that's all I'm going to touch is Vegas and St. Louis over. I have the lean to the Blues. Just again, they're still fighting. It looks like they're in, but they're still not in just yet.
Exactly.
And their schedule is not easy to finish. So this is the first of 2 against them. From a shot prop standpoint, there's nothing really there. I was thinking about Shea Theodore. But he's been kind of inconsistent, and Marchessault's kind of dried up a little bit too. Saving all my shot props here for Colorado because I got burned the other day, and I'm going right back to Colorado shot props as they're in LA to take on the Kings, plus 216 for LA, minus 265 for the Avs. Man, I probably won't touch
I want to ask you, can you start this one? Because I got to tell you, Colorado, there's 2 trains of thought. This is my thing. They want to get to the end of the season healthy because they've been disappointments before. Resting players and getting right is more important. But coming off a loss to San Jose the way they did, that doesn't leave a nice taste. Are they going to murder the Kings? The Kings, let's just call it out for what it is. The Kings are a bad hockey team. They had their little run. They're not good. Is Colorado puck line parlayed? Is that the way to go in this game? You tell me.
I think so. It is confusing because you're right. They want to get healthy. Are they going to rest some of these guys? Should Grubauer play tonight? No. The answer is no. Grubauer shouldn't play tonight, but he might. And if he plays, the Kings aren't scoring any goals, and the Avs are going to score at least 3. So that's kind of how I feel with Colorado, and they're just too young. I don't want to call them stupid, but they are young and they don't know any better to entering this game and having that loss against the Sharks that that they're just going to want to bounce back. And they've done this so many times. There's so many times this season where they have had a bad loss and they just come around and turn around in the next game and just murder.
Yep.
whoever they're playing. It's happened so much. To be honest with you, it's one of those scenarios I said off the top. I need to know who's in net for Colorado. If it's not Grubauer, I'm thinking goals.
If it is,
Thinking the
so
Kings
who would it
could
be?
hang around.
It'd you be Johansson, correct?
I think so. Dubnyk is hurt. He's dealing
Yeah,
with something right now.
the Doob man. Yeah, I miss Doobster. So yeah, if it's Johansson, I'd probably go over Colorado and over in the game. They'll probably win like a 5-2 or 5-3 type of game.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Matt, what do you think about? I mean, you're a big puck line guy. Is Avs on your puck line parlay here?
Yeah, I'm taking the Avs on the puck line. Even though on the last show, like I said, the Avs on the puck line, I think have fucked me over more than a lot of other teams.
Yes.
But it's just their ceiling feels way too high for me to just run away and be a coward from going back to it. It might just be stupidity, but it also might just be like, please, Jesus Christ, work for me once. But I
know what the best is, Matt? Chris Meaney, like, he could be our psychologist. Like, we walk in the room, he already knows what we're doing. Like, it's Cam's
100%.
Cam's taking some stupid dogs. Matt's all over the puck line on a good team like Colorado. Like, he already knows like our recipe before we even bake it. Like,
he's just verifying what we're doing for the night.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, man, you guys are sharp. You guys know what's going on.
Sometimes we can be pretty dull, but we've been sharp before.
Yeah, you've been sharp before. Nate McKinnon, he didn't get the shots. It's been so weird with McKinnon lately. He had the back-to-back games, I think, with 9 shots. Like, look at what he's been doing lately. When he went 6-5-3, 6-6-0, and then back-to-back games with 9 shots against the Sharks, and then 2 against the Sharks the very next night. Listen, he had a ton of shot attempts. He missed the net a couple times. He had some blocks. That's just the way it's going to be. Nate McKinnon is always going to have at least 4 shot attempts. It's just the way he plays hockey, and it's the way he's played his whole career. He loves to shoot the puck. I'm taking the over 3.5 at -145. Rantanen's at 2.5, but it's like -200. There's no need of it. But both of these guys, I think, bounce back here. There's not too many games when you look at the back of the hockey card where they're held off the score sheet together. I think that they both bounce back, and they kind of just correlate well. If one hits the score sheet, the other one does as well. And it just seemed like it was a Gabriel Landeskog shot night. I think he had 6 there the other night. So I think both of these guys for potentially 2-point nights. I think there's goals here. And I don't, like I said, I just don't know if Grubauer is going to be in net tonight. And if he doesn't play, I think Cam, I think we can attack maybe the total here and get some goals. And maybe just, I don't know, maybe Kings hang around. It's off my board. Have you decided yet? Are you still on the fence? What you're going to do with this game?
I'm taking Colorado. I'm going to pull a Matt Best. I think I'm going to lay the puck and a half, and it will be parlayed as well. If they show up in this game, the Kings are done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can get Colorado. Geez, you can get Colorado -110 at 1.5. That's not bad. If you're really feeling them, you can get them -2 at +130.
No, that's more Matt Best style. I think I'll stop where I am.
And I almost took the Leafs last night at
-3.5. Exactly.
Yeah, I was really thinking when they put Caden Primo, he's going to start. I'm like, oh god. All right, SJ Sharkey.
Yep.
And the Coyotes.
Hate both teams. Hate them both. You know what, Coyotes, you guys are dead to me. I needed you in a parlay against the Kings. You're unbelievable. Honestly, Sharks, Kings, Arizona, what you've done at the end of the season it's sickening. Like, you guys had opportunities to make the playoffs. The Blues, we talk about this. Yeah. I feel like a broken record. The Blues are doing it against good teams. They're manning up. I just don't get it. I'll tell you one thing, at least. The Sharks are actually playing better than Arizona is right now. There's a couple guys in Arizona. I like my boy Chychrun. Like, there's some guys I like on that team, but God, man, that team's brutal. The Sharks are actually battling. They beat Colorado. I lean to the Sharks, Meaney. God, this team sucks.
You said
this game, actually, why not the over? Because both teams absolutely stink. And then all of a sudden, Arizona's scoring goals, giving up goals. I don't 5.5. Give me the Sharks in the over. I hate everything about this game.
That's exactly what I was going to say at the end, too. Give me the Sharks in the over. So Arizona's winning 2-0 here tonight.
Yes. Yeah. Whenever I do the opposite. I can't pick these teams. Like, I can't pick my nose, my ass. Like, I don't know. Like, these teams drive me nuts. Like they drive me nuts.
I know they are
I
super
should ban them.
frustrating. Yeah, they are frustrating teams to watch. And Logan Couture, like this is a guy who's been so quiet. This is a guy who usually takes shot props. Should I take the under? He's got 2 shots in his last 3 games. He's had 1 or
Brutal.
0 in 4 of his past 5. I can't get.
How many home games does San Jose have left? When is their last home game?
Let's see here. Let's bring up the schedule.
Because if that's an angle I think we got to look at too. Like these teams that have had frustrating, like I'm going to take some bad teams in their last home game of the year. That's kind of like, in the NFL, it's like, hey, we're horrible, but we're going to show up there in the final week. That's kind of an angle you could look at too. I know
they've lost 11 of their last 14. They have their last 3 games are at home tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday against Vegas.
They're going to beat Vegas in their final game, maybe. Anyway, I'm taking them tonight and the over. And I hate everything about it, but it's done.
Matt, let's bring you in here again. Sharkies?
I don't want to bet either of these two teams. I don't think I could have said, or Cam could have said it any better. Just these two teams fucking suck. I don't want to touch it. I just got to take a peek at the board here. If I'm looking at it, the total 5.5, yeah, the over, sure. Like that's the only thing that would even entice me in the slightest. Don't like shot props from either side. Don't like either money line. The total's probably the only thing, and even then, I know Cam said no bet. There's no such thing as a no bet. This one feels like a no bet.
Yeah, I'll let you off the no bet for this game. You can do whatever you want. Like I just like when I need one of these teams at the end of the night, it's like, hey, Arizona, I got to cap a parlay. They're losing to the Kings. I need the Kings. They're losing to Arizona. I need SJ Sharkey. They're crapping their pants. Then they're beating Colorado. Like these guys are just too much. They're too much. Overs to play though. Don't you think they're already thinking about golf courses? Like I don't see many. Like San Jose was an over team to begin with when they're actually playing hard. Now with nothing, like they might get 4 or 5 themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree. Instead of just picking a team to win here, let's just hope for some goals, right? I mean, it's tough to get behind either of these teams. I mean, San Jose should be better than they are. I really do.
I'm taking San Jose in the over, and if if I lose both, if it's Arizona 2-0, Meaney, I'd like you to ban me from those teams associated with it. That would be Arizona, the Kings, and the Sharks. They're all banned.
They're all bad. Okay, so from a DFS standpoint, I think Colorado, Newhook is on he's here. He's on DK. He wasn't the other day. He made his NHL debut. He played 13 minutes. He played on that second line. He didn't really get any power play time. I mean, the Avs are so loaded, he probably won't. But he was on that second line with Burakovsky and Kadri. I think that's interesting. I mean, he's 2.5, but the Avs from a DFS standpoint, I mean, ran in 8.6. Landeskog is underpriced at 7.6. Kadri's 5.5. I really do think that they're going to score some goals tonight against the Kings because they do. At the end of the day, they still have that I don't know, that glimmer of hope that they could win the division. I think they're going to be all systems go here against LA. And then St. Louis and Vegas from a DFS standpoint, I think there's some offense to be had there as well. I would attack that O'Reilly line because he's been really good lately. He's 6.5. And then maybe line 2 there with Marchessault, get involved there with Perron, Braden Shen. And Riley Smith has been a stinker, but if you're playing multiple lineups in tournaments, he's 4.3. I think there's going to be some offense in that game. As you mentioned, Cam, you had some nice statistics there. And then in Washington and Philadelphia, I do believe we think that there's going to be some offense there as well. It just maybe we hear some news a little bit later on about Ovechkin or Wilson or if Kuznetsov's going to be into the lineup. But I think I was just looking up Oshie too as you were talking. It looks like he's going to be good to go. His shot prop's actually 1.5 some spots, so that's pretty interesting. You include him into some parlays, and then Mantha's 5.4. So Oshie 6.1, Mantha 5.4, and Backstrom 6.6. And on the other side there, I really do believe that the Flyers are in play with Couturier at 6.8, Giroux 6.3, and then. Man, where's Voracek? Yeah, he's 5.5. That would be the trio would attack in Philadelphia. Just attack that first power play. I think there's gonna be some offense there. Okay, what do you got for us, Matt, about Wednesday?
Wednesday. So your picks 1 and 4. The under in Montreal, Ottawa missed by a goal. Dallas money line, Colorado puck line, St. Louis puck line missed. Washington, New York, the over 6 was a push, and the Winnipeg money line you hit. 1 and 4 brings your total record to 143 and 109. Shot props, better result, 4 and 2. Forsberg hit, Zibanejad hit, Kaprizov hit. Suzuki had 7 shots, by the way. Seguin and Rantanen just fuck the dog. They didn't do anything for you. 80 and 51 there on your shot props, plus 29 there. So you're doing well, my friend. You're doing well. What do you got for us?
I'm going to give less picks, I think, Cam.
You say that
like me
every week.
Holy crap. Here's 8 picks, 9 picks. The other day we had 14 games. I think I gave 28 picks. I'm going to chalk up some losses.
We're doing my show. Like, how many picks you got, Cam? 24. It's okay.
Crap. Go ahead, Cam. What do you got? What's on your board?
First, I got a parlay that's 51-1. Dallas Stars plus 1.5, over 5. Red Wings, Blue Jackets. There's a quack. The Ducks plus 1.5. Colorado minus 290, over 5.5. Blues and Knights over 5.5. Coyotes, Sharks, SJ Sharky. That is a smooth 51-1. So $10 will get you over $500. You like to party? I like to party. Tonight I'm taking basically everything there. Sharks and the over. We're taking Colorado puck line. We are taking over in the Blues Vegas game. Lean to the Blues there, Meaney. What else did I like? Quack. Oh, yeah, I gave you Ducks plus 1.5 and Dallas, especially, please, Vasilevsky, just take the night off and have a drink and just relax. We got to see McElhaney tonight. Give me the Stars. And out of principle, we're taking that over in the Detroit-Columbus game at a smooth 5.
I love that parlay. Oh, baby. I was writing that down.
Yeah, it's plus 1.5 too. If I do the money line, it's going to be like 100 and something to 1.
Oh, man. Can you give me that again?
Okay.
Give that one again. This one's going to be a winner, folks.
I hope so. Hey, guys, this is stupid, but Dallas Stars plus 1.5, over 5, Detroit Columbus. Ducks plus 1.5, Avalanche, simply money line, not even puck line, minus 290, over 5.5, Blues and Vegas Golden Knights, over 5.5, Sharks and Arizona. Sharks money line.
Man, that's not even out to lunch.
1-1.
Yeah, no, I like those puck lines there. You get Dallas, you're kind of covering. You're just taking Colorado on the money line and taking some totals there. I dig it. That's a good one. I can't believe I'm going back to Dallas here, but I am. Dallas, the over in Detroit and Columbus, 5. The over in Vegas and St. Louis, 6. Yeah, I'm on the same page as you with a lot of picks. Colorado puck line, and then San Jose, Arizona, 5.5. So that's where I am going. Honestly, I'll tell you what, I won't bet Dallas at Vasilevsky. I'm saying that. It is a big difference for me. Kaprizov, 2.5 shots, minus 141. Nate McKinnon, 3.5 shots, minus 145. Anthony Manthis plus money, plus 115, over 2.5 shots. He's had at least 3 in 5 straight games. So Washington dinged up a little bit, I think means more ice time, potentially first power play time for him as well, with no Kuznetsov or Ovechkin. Seguin, I go back to him. I don't mind that. He had 2 the other night. I was watching the game. He had a lot of shot attempts. Looked like he had a giddy up in his step. 2.5 shots, minus 115 for him. And then the final one, again, we'll just give a couple picks. Shea Theodore, 2.5 shots, minus 140 for Shea Theodore. All right, Cam, a pleasure. I don't know if we're going to do this again this year. It has been an absolute blast. Every Friday has been awesome. And if we do get together again, we'll be talking, I guess, playoffs, just previewing playoffs from like a future standpoint. We'll get some picks in there. Any final words from you, man?
No, man. Love you guys. Meaney, it's been a blast. You are Mr. Hockey. Matt Best. I never realized the knowledge of the Nashville Predators and the interweavings of that organization. Nashville, if you're listening, hire Matt Best. This guy, he's getting it done. Terry Crisp, just give him a call. Matt Best will come working in Nashville with a big belt buckle. Meaney, you are the hockey god. Listen to Meaney for his shot props and everything else. This guy knows the game inside, everybody. Hope we made you some money. And if we didn't, we hope we made you laugh a few times during the season. I know I did with my loser parlays and crazy picks.
Buddy, you're going to finish strong tonight with that 55-1. Yes. Ton of respect for you, Cam. Thanks for taking the time to do this show with us all year. It's been, like I said, an absolute blast. And Maddie, good luck tonight. And I believe you will be here on the Mayo Media Network this weekend, giving some picks as well. And they have been hot fire. So good luck tonight. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Cheers.